So hey YouTube, it's Aaron again, and today I'm gonna make a video that I didn't want to make, an honest video. And I say I didn't want to make it out of fear, but as a man you realize you have to start eventually, when you don't want to do something that you know is on the right path, that's precisely the time to do it. When you're compelled to, when you have a feeling in your gut, you should do it as haphazardly as you can. And so today that's what I'm doing. I've been saying in the past couple videos I only made 2 so far. I could have made more, but I've been trying to focus up on other aspects of my life. You know, kids and work and cleaning up my diet and paying bills. It's a lot. I'll get into more of those specifics, in another video. But today I want to talk about being a man and doing the things you know you should, even if they scare you. And one of the things I know I have to do is continue to be honest on my channel and shed some light, shed my perspective. So the past couple days I've been having very rigorous conversations with people, family members, friends, and I realize that projecting myself out in the world more authentically really pisses people off. And to be honest, oh, by the way, my son's here. Hey, Eli. He's just playing. Eli, where you going? Here, come back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. And women, whoever's watching. As a man, as an individual, fuck man, as an individual, when you become an individual in the world does not like that at all. As Joker would say, not one bit. So, I'm realizing that now. I mean, I've realized it for a long time, and the world has a way of conforming you. It has a way of making you think the proper way, which is the way they want you to think. And I don't. So people get upset. And I know a lot of people, friends of mine, who are on personal journeys of growth, and I just try to assist. Sometimes it says things that pisses them off, which is unfortunate, but true. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just give you some excerpts of some conversations I had. I'm just going to randomly scroll just so you could see what I go through on a regular basis. I'm going to leave out names. That's obviously never going to happen. And to be clear, I don't say anything with malicious intent. I try to use my words very purposefully and authentically and honestly. Sometimes they're rough. But I wasn't rough here, but I got a lot of rough in return. But here we go. I'm just going to start at a random location. And I said, I'm treating you, and this is going back into some backstory. One of my friends is going through a life change, and I'm just there to support them. And so here we go. And her problem is she thinks that I'm not supporting her by being myself, by being rough. And not rough, but just real. So I'm going to start this. I just said, I'm treating you how I would treat myself. I'm treating you how I treated myself to get to this point, which I'm treating you real. She says, well, I don't want it. And then I said, but you want some version of me you can digest. And I said, I can only be real. She says, I want to figure shit out myself. I don't want you telling me. I'll ask if I need help or if I want your opinion. And then I said, that sounds an awfully lot like ego to me. And she says, maybe after what I've been through, I could use a little ego. That's interesting, right? Someone who's had their ego crushed saying the thing they need now probably is ego. I don't know if that works like that, but this is not uncommon. I've gotten this before. It's a pattern I've noticed, and I'll bring it up eventually in this. And I said, I'd gladly take, and I say about myself, I'd gladly take advice from anyone if it makes sense to me. And she says, your advice doesn't make sense to me. And I said, that's because you don't want it to. And all that is weakness talking. She says, go the fuck away and stop badgering me. And I said, that's a defensive position. You aren't in proper alignment. You can't let your lesser angels win. Well, no, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. You can let your lesser angels win all you want. But when you're in proper alignment, I won't have to say the things I say. She says, okay. And I say, you're like, I say as an example, you're like, just let me be self-indulgent sometimes. And to that I say, no, I'm not going to let you. She says, I'm not being self-indulgent. I'm trying to figure things out for myself, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then I say, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if you don't want to hear time-tested advice that's not just coming from me, it clearly shows there's an issue. Now I'm going to stop right here and just start expanding on the things that I've been saying. If someone wants to give you advice and they tell you they're doing it for good reasons, why do women choose not to believe it? I feel like I'm constantly men, and this is for women to understand and hear. I feel like men constantly feel like when we have a conversation, we're not just having a conversation. We're talking, and we have to battle this avatar of what you think I'm trying to say versus what I'm saying. But as a man, I don't say things that aren't true. And not all men are like that. And I'm not perfect at all. I've definitely done the opposite most of my life, or lied and manipulated. So I don't want to come off like I'm perfect, because I'm far from it. But if I specifically say the next words that are going to come out of my mouth are not negative, even if it may sound like that to you, it may be blunt but not negative, it's coming from the best possible place, and then I say, but you need to take a shower, why get mad at that? Like, that's just an example, but it could be anything. I could understand not agreeing with certain things I say, but today's women don't agree with anything a man says. And that's a problem. That is a huge problem. And the only thing I want to do is try to show everyone behind the curtain, show them that they're being programmed, show them that your thoughts may not be your own, as that's your ego talking. Your ego can be telling you that all these thoughts originate from you, and that's a lie. Your thoughts, your presuppositions, they've been given to you by other people, by a failed system that is pretty much damaging everyone. The banner of feminism has done more harm than anything in the world for male and female relations, period. I can give you a myriad of examples. I probably will in another video. But we're just going to go back to my life, which I'm going to finish reading. And I'm going to read what I said previously just to continue on. It said, if you don't want to hear time-tested life advice just because it's coming out of my mouth, that clearly shows there's something wrong. And she says, you have no respect for me, and you have no respect for my process. And I say, correction, you think I have no respect for you. And then she interjects, you have no respect for growth that doesn't come from you. And then I said, subjective and objective opinions are different. I don't care where the growth comes from. But I said, we cannot talk for a day, a month, or a year, and we're probably going to have the same conversation if you were in a different spot. And, she meanders and talks about nothing. Oh, she says, I say, she talks about how we go through long stints of not talking. And I say, life happens. And she says, no, we get into arguments and stop talking. And I'm always the first one to message you after not talking for a year or so. So I point that out. Well, I point out that she's always the one that has to bring up the conversation to me again. And I was curious about why she brought that up, because it has nothing to do with anything. But that's a trick women do. A trick that is, obviously old. Men see it so much that we learn to weave through the tactics. She starts bringing up something that she has misgivings with, that I seem to don't make her a priority. And that's simple. Bitch, you're not my girl. Like, I could have said that. I did not say that afterwards. But you're not my fucking girl. I got kids. I got work. I do say something a little bit after that, but we might get into it. But I essentially said, I can remember it verbatim. This conversation was very recent. And I said, I have 15 other things to do during the day. Like, life happens. So, but the indictment, she just wanted to bring up one of my misgivings as a negative. Why? Why does a guy have to, I talk to my friends more than I talk to my own blood. I talk to my best guy friends maybe once every month or so. We're busy. We have lives. We're trying to live and grow and prosper. I don't know why women have to have such commitment. Like, you have to be there often. I don't want to keep on ranting, but we're going to continue to the conclusion. It doesn't end shortly after, it ends shortly. And I said, she talks about how she's always the one to message me, even after you're not talking. And I'd say, okay, and your point is? She said, statement of a fact. Then I say, you can say that like it's an indictment on me, but that's just how the way life is. You get bored of other people faster than I do. And unfortunately, I have 15 other things on my mind. And then she just goes, oh, take care of those 15 other things and don't bother me. Another passive-aggressive female thing, whatever. A lot of this stuff I'm skipping because it's just nothing. And I say, I have to talk to you. I said, I talk to you more than I talk to my brother. And I said, I'm getting those things in as we speak. And she said, you haven't made a single concrete, non-abstract suggestion, so pretty much everything you're saying to me is just psychobabble, putting me down in the name of tough love. And I said, we can end the conversation if you want right now. All I've been doing has been responding to your delusions about me, setting the record straight. You know, she says, oh, I think it's pretty clear. I said, I do respect you. And she says, and I have no idea where the fuck this is going to tell you what to do. It gets rough, so we're not going to continue there. And then I say, I wouldn't be talking to you if I didn't respect you. I'm just staying consistent. I'm the same way with everybody, which is true. I treat everyone the same. I treat my female friends like my guy friends. And this is important. This is going into the conversations of equality and, yeah, basically equality. And my take on it is simple. We're not equal. And I don't mean I'm not saying we're not equal because we're not equal. I'm just saying we're not equal because women don't give us the same standards. Women don't. If I could talk to my boys, if my boys started eating Chinese food every day, and I said, yo, dog, you starting to fuck up, you know what I'd be? A good fucking friend. But if I talk to any female, a friend, girlfriend, sister, you name it, and I say, hey, you're starting to fuck up. Let's get your shit together. I'm an asshole. I'm just being equal. The truth is, I treat everybody the same, men and women. It's just women are not used to hearing how guys talk. So someone's got to do it. Someone's got to be the honest guy in the room or in the world or in these women's lives and show them the real man mind state. It's not, I don't think it's not fun. I'm pretty agnostic about it. I don't care. Like, I just do what I do. It just seems to have a greater effect on the resistant women in my life. Not everyone. There are some people who super agree with everything. Not agree with everything I say. If I'm an asshole sometimes, which I am, I get told. But it keeps me honest. So that's just a few excerpts. After that, I'm just called an asshole, and it meanders. So I don't know. Honestly, I just want to help the world. I want to help men understand women, and I unfortunately, at this point, have way too much fucking experience on it. I want to help women start understanding man perspective, which they don't seem to give a fuck about. Holy shit, the world's telling me a lot. The universe is revealing more things to me than I ever thought I could know. So, I'm not posting these anywhere on social media. They're just here. If someone stumbles across it, great. If not, I got my record for the world in case I die tomorrow. It could happen. Anything could happen. See you later. Let me see where the hell my son is.